Hello, welcome back to Healing Art with Amanda. We are here to conclude our portrait on John Lewis. So last time we met, we did our background and we did our base color of our suit. We're going to go in today and finish his face, do some shadows around his neck, just finish it up. So what do I have today? I do have all kinds of different brushes, but we're mainly going to be with small brushes and medium to small brushes because we're going to be doing a lot of fine detail work here. And I do have acrylic paints. I have them just in the bottles today. Remember that you're going to need water. I like to have 2 cups because I don't like to muddle the colors. And then you're going to need a palette. I'm going to use these plates for my palette. So we've started in with some of the darker colors last time. Let's go in and we'll kind of finish that up. I'm going to take some brown. And to give it a little bit more dimension, take this purple and put it to the side, and we're going to mix this brown and purple together. Pull my water over close to me. Oh yes, I also forgot, we also have some paper towels and our inspiration board. Because when you're doing a portrait of somebody, like to have some references to go back to. So I'm going to mix the brown and the purple, and it's just going to darken that brown a little bit without using black. Okay, and we're going to come in here to his ear, and let's do a circle around here, and we're going to put some definition into that ear. Bam. Okay, that's a pretty color. Let's go back under his eyes, and his eyes, as we see, are very serious a lot of times. And focus, so he's kind of like almost squinting, so we're going to make it a small almond shape and go right back in. Okay, so Mr. Lewis also, he did so much for us. I see he's got, we're going to put just some roundabout right under his eyes and pull it back up towards the bridge of the nose. And then we're going to go back in with more colors. This is just going to give us the illusion of where that skin is kind of coming down a bit. There we go. And then I'm going to fill this in with the brown mixture. I'm going to take some water and pull this back out. Okay, there's our shadow. Now I may come back in and make this darker. The nice thing about when you're going in with acrylic, that we can just go back over it. Let's do, see how this corner of his eye, he has a rounded hood of his eye. We're going to go back and pull that up. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and do it a little bit more purpley, because sometimes I just like the purple to really pop. And we're going to finish this line of his skull down. Yes, get it a little purpley. And pull that back in once you get it around. Just go carefully because you want it to not look rushed. You want it to flow. And we're going to pull it right back down to the back of his ear. Okay. And then we're just going to go back around the outside of that ear. Pull his lobe up. Okay. All right, let's think about where some shadows were going to be. I want to make this a little bit darker, so I think I'm going to do some blue in here also. We're just going to put this to this side. Uh-oh. I think I have to take the whole thing off for that blue. Okay. We're going to mix that with some brown and the purple. It makes it almost gray-brown color. And we're going to go into the other side of this nose and pull out a darker shadow. Okay, let's put a little wrinkle on his brow here. He's thinking seriously. And then we're going to go ahead and take this and bring down the bridge of his nose. I'm going to take just purple, straight purple, and I'm going to go under where we have this middle line for his lips. Now we're going to come down about 1 inch, and we drew that already, so you should see the faint outline of it. And we're going to come down just in the middle of the lip and create the illusion of a bottom lip. We don't want it to touch that middle. There. And so that's just where the shadow would be. So we're just kind of working on shadows right now. Now the top lip, we're going to actually, it would be more in shadow. So we're going to take the purple and come in and actually, we can do fill in one side, and then I'm going to go and just outline the other side. But still, I haven't touched down to the shadow. All right, so now I'm going to take my purple, brown, blue color and get it nice and inky so it flows. And I'm going to come under here and we're going to do a shadow underneath the nose, right there to the left. And then I'm going to come back up here and let's add where he has his lid crease. Okay. And we'll do the same way on the other eye. Okay. I like that color. I'm going to go back actually, and we're going to do some more in-depth on this ear and just put where some shadows would be because you wouldn't see any white there. There we go. So we're going to make kind of an illusion also of here's where our light is coming. And Mr. Lewis had a bald head, so he would have light reflecting up there. So where would the light be? If the light is coming this way, we're going to take and let's just do a quick circle. That looks crazy, right? It'll be fine. It's going to actually give us an illusion of where are our lights going to be. So that's going to be one color. This is going to be probably the lightest color. And as we go down, the light is going to hit certain places like the hood of his eye, the tip of his nose, his lips and his chin. But sometimes I like to put these little places in here because they just help me remember that we're gonna put different colors for different places. So where would light be reflecting? I'm kind of taking my brush and going in these different directions. And then also let's think about his cheekbone here. We need a little bit more definition on that. So I'm gonna go in with my brown, push it into my gray and purple, and we need to get this cheekbone going. So I'm gonna look back at my pictures, and I see that I'm probably gonna come in here with some shadow and then bring it down. But we're leaving some space for a highlight here. And I'm actually gonna come back around to this side and do the same thing from this right under his eye. We've put a lot of brown on the brush, and this is just straight brown on the side, and I'm coming down, but I'm leaving just the edge for a highlight. And we know the highlight's up here, so now I can come back in with my brown on the top, and I can go ahead and put some of this nice chocolatey brown right here. Now we're gonna leave a highlight right on top of that brown too. Let's come over here and fill some of this in. Okay, let's make a lighter brown. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put my brush in the water. I'm gonna take this white and there we go, put a little bit right there. And I think I may need a little bit of this pink, but I may not need this. So I'm gonna put it there just because I may just put a touch. I'm gonna actually just use what's on the top of this because literally you would just need a touch of pink in it. I'm gonna get me a clean brush, small, and take my brown, put it over here. We're gonna take a touch of this pink, just a dab, and put that there, and then just a touch of white. You can always add more white. Don't go in there with a big thing of white because you may miss your color, your tone. So you can always add more, so add a little bit at a time. I need a little bit more, so I'm adding a little bit more. I'd rather add it than make a color that I can't use. A little bit more in here. And I think we need a little tad more pink, so let me get back in there for that. Ooh, I like that. Okay, here we go, we're getting there. So the pink just warms up the brown more and the white tones it into a lighter tone. So now we're just looking for a warmer brown, but a lighter tone. There we go. Okay. We're gonna come back in and let's do under his eye. Right there. Take it from one side to the other. I'm gonna add a little water because that was a little dry. We'll go under this eye. Okay. I'm gonna come down the bridge of his nose and go back up around that way. I don't like the way that brush is flowing. I'm gonna get that. The nice thing about having a whole bunch of brushes is you can choose as you go. Okay, let's get this back. Let's do, I think, let's add a little orange to this too. So this is when you can kind of experiment with colors too. I kind of like that, that brightens it up. But it's nice to go ahead and mix them on a palette first before you put them on your canvas. But like I said before, the cool thing is you can always paint over something. So I'm going into the tip of his nose and I'm kind of just gonna make a loose circle there. And then I'm gonna go back in with that orangey pink brown, but I put brown right on top of that. So it's two colors on the brush. And then I'm gonna go back around this to add a little bit more definition of just brown into the pinky brown. Because what we're using different colors to layer on to make the details. So I'm going in between regular brown on the same brush and the mixed color. And if we come up with a color that we don't like, we can just go back over it once it's dry. So I did that brown and we have the pink brown. And I'm gonna go in. Now we've got that little section going. I'm gonna do a darker brown on the side. Let's do a whole bunch of this pink brown that's gonna come up in here. But still be careful with your brush. With your line work, there we go. Okay. Let's do this a little deeper and add a little purple. I like that. Here. Actually, I'm gonna put a little pink. And that looks shocking, doesn't it? But I'm gonna actually go over that with brown. So that's called layer. You can just layer the color. And it's gonna add a little bit of modern to your painting too, because some of that pink is gonna show through. Now I'm gonna go right on top of that with the brown. Okay, the lighter pink on this side. And pull that down. And basically, we're just going in and out of our dark brown or our regular brown, and then our gray brown that we made with the purple, blue, brown, and then these kind of just other brown colors. And then you're going to think about light. So I have some orange here. Where could we put that? We could put this up here because, yeah, we've got a lot of interest going right here in the center of his face. Let's do something up here. So let's just take this orange and blue, put that there. But we're going to go back over it with some brown. And then I'm just going to actually take this pink white and we'll melt that all together. So we're blending, but we're not muddling it together. If you had to have a little bit more on your brush, don't spread it too thin. Yeah. Let's do something crazy. Let's put a purple streak right here too. And over here. Okay, so we're just kind of filling in. I'm going to do a lighter brown with just this orange and brown. Oop, my color got muddled. Let me get rid of that brush and get us a new one because I can't tell you not to do something and me do it. Okay, let's do it again. We're going to do some brown and just orange. I like that. A little bit more of that. That's a nice color. Let's go under his little under eye with this color on both sides. Up to the bridge. The more we get it filled in, the more it really starts coming together. Okay. Let's take that same color and I'm going to add white to it, and I'm going to add a pretty good, probably like 2 parts more of white to it. And let's see how that looks as a highlight. So I'm going to come back. Remember how we left that little white here? Let's hit that with that highlight color. Ooh, I like it. There we go. And let's do the same thing with this little highlight on his nose. And then we're going to go back with that same color, highlight color. Come here around that side of the head, and then we're going to come right back up above the brow and just meet right there. It's pretty coming together. Let's get that ear over there, and he needs to be just, I think we can do brown with a bit of, I don't want to do it on that one, with a bit of purple. So I'm going to get another brush that's not big enough. And we're gonna do brown with purple. And maybe no, I think it's just brown with purple, look good. Over, and we're gonna do this ear that's in shadow. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more brown on top of that. I think I'm losing some details, so I'm actually gonna go back in. I thought I had a darker blue. I may go back in at the end with black then. I may do some black at the end. Okay. We'll take a little pink and brown and lighten that up. And I'm gonna come back in and we will put in this bottom lip here. I'm gonna go with another brush, wet it, and we'll put a little more pink here. Let's see if I'm gonna blend that in. Let's blend that in. And then we'll do some gray, brown, which is that blue, and that can come up this way. Add a highlight or two. And we're gonna go down. Let's go ahead and fill in this neck, and I just went brown right over where we already had shadows. Okay. Here. We're gonna take our brown and go in and start in different places. Filling in our face. And as you work, you're just going to think about where are the highlights? I'm going to do his lid with the brown and orange. Okay. It's down. Let me use this purple. Let me try this darker purple before I try this black, because black definitely makes everything pop, but I try to get my shadows with just darker colors. Can't even get this out. Let me see. Good. Yeah, there we go. Let's try this purple. Okay, I like that. So that's going to add a little bit more. And now we're just working with our browns. Okay, I'm going to come in with that light. Here. Okay. Let's go into this side, and I'm going to use light because we've got all that dark and we want to see that nostril. So I'm going around that part of the nose and into where we left that light. All right, let's go in with a lighter brown, and we're going to pull out this chin. And take that same color, and we're going to go up the jawline to this other side of his ear. And if you see where you need to go back in and do a little bit more blending, that's okay. But with this kind of portrait, it doesn't all have to be blended either. See how we didn't blend these really vibrant colors because we want them to stay there. And then we're going to come back and do some more line work at the end. So some stuff you want blended. If it's like the bright colors, you want them to stand out. Make it your own. I'm gonna add a little blue here. And I think even here, and start playing around with these different colors also. Let's see. Let's finish getting the bottom half. I'm gonna do browns. And just kind of go in, still thinking about where shadows are, but we're filling this up because we may come back and layer on some more color. That's going to be darker there. It's got kind of a line that comes down here. With a new brush, I'm going to go into this highlight color. It's a little light. I'm going to add a little brown. And then maybe this side down. Brown for that. So even though we're trying to get a likeness and we want it to, this is inspired by John Lewis, you know, don't worry yourself because this is also about your art and you expressing yourself. Yeah. Blue. Okay, so I was looking and I put a little blue there and it was too much. So look what I just did. I took it back out with brown. Again, that's the wonderful thing about painting with acrylic. Now, when you're painting with oils, it's just as easy. It's just you gotta wait a while for it to dry before you can go back on top of it like that. But there we go. We can take things out, put them back in. I thought that was a little too much around his eye. It wasn't what I wanted. I tried it out and didn't like it and took it right back out. That easy. I'm going to add a little bit more orange over here to balance out this orange up here. And I think I'm looking for either right here or down on this chin. We need something to balance out this orange. So I think we're going to go around this jawline. Let's try that. And then the rest of it's gonna be basically brown, and I may do some of that light brown at the very tip. So I got a little orange going in here to balance out that orange on top, but now we're going to just go in with a new brush to blend it with this brown that I'm about to do. I need more brown. Let me get another plate. Put some more brown here. All right, so I got a medium brush, flat top. We just got brown, and we're going to put it on the bottom of our face, lead it into our cheekbone, come down into that, go around the chin, the mouth, blend that in with that orange, back down, blend a little bit, and to the edge of his mouth. Okay, I like that, but we need some more definition, so we're gonna come back in with some more. I'm actually just going to take this brown too on this brush and come back in on his eye here. We definitely gotta add in some more eyebrow on there. That's okay. We're coming with your eyebrows. All right, so let's fill in this ear over here. He's hanging out with no paint on him. So yes, we can go, we'll go darker to the back, and then of course the light's gonna hit kind of this part. So I'm gonna start with just brown on that side part of your ear. And then this, I'm gonna go back into, here's my other palette. That light brown orange mixture we did with the white, brown, and orange. And line him up this way with that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get a nice fine brush. Let's go ahead, you know what, before we're gonna do some little bitty finite details on his face, but you know what, let's go down here and add some fine to this. Okay, so I'm going to take the pink, and on a dry brush, little tiny brush, I'm gonna add some pink, straight pink. You can rub it, go back and forth into your brush, and I'm gonna come into his tie, and just where I think it would be folded, swipe in some details, okay? Bam, little highlights. Now we're going to take a flat medium brush and take just white on it. We have white over here. And go into where we did his shirt. And start at the top and pull down white. And we're gonna pop that collar. We're gonna add just a little pop of white to that shirt, and that's just gonna make that cool. Okay, now the under part, don't worry, you can add maybe the tiniest bit in the center, but really that's in shadow, so we're good. Now I'm gonna take that same brush that I had the white on and I'm gonna put it into some blue. And I'm gonna mix that together with a little bit light blue. And I want this really inky, so I'm gonna wet my brush and get that where it just, and I'm gonna come in and where can I just put highlights, which would usually not be blue, but we're making it blue because of the background. And like I said, it just kind of makes it look modern. So we did it on his sleeve, on his shoulder. Let's go back in and pop some on this lapel. We're just lightly pulling it in the way that we think the light would be. Okay? Bam. All right. So now I think we are good to, I'm going to go back to my other palette and I'm going to get us some black now. Actually, I think I can just use what's on this lid because when you're using this, it's going to make everything pop, but it's very strong color, so we really probably don't need too much. And I'm going to get a thinner brush, a couple of them, my tiniest little detail brushes. Okay. And we're going to go straight into this nice black acrylic. And the first thing I'm going to do is go to his eyes and put a black little pupil in the center. Leave a little bit of that little white that we left because that's his gleam in his eye. Okay. Now we're going to take this and kind of frame the eye, go around it. Okay, I needed a little bit more watery, so I'll put some water on my brush. I'm going to take it around the eye, but then pull up because we have that kind of hooded eye. But we don't want to add too much of a line. It's just where you can kind of see that that's what's happening. And then we're going to go back in and do that little part of the lid. Now we're going to add, let's give him some eyebrows. He needs his eyebrows. So right where we already have that eyebrow line, I'm taking, and ladies are going to be good with this because we draw on our eyebrows usually. But you're going to go in with the eyebrow shape and just pull it up like little finite hairs. The closer to the bridge of the nose is going to be thicker. And as we pull to the top of the eye, it will go slightly smaller. Now, as I see his brow, when we go over to this side, it kind of changes direction. So he still has some pretty thickness on both sides. And we're just going to do the same thing to this opposite side. And that gives a nice framing to the eye. Okay. On this side, we're going to pull it down, pull it where you can see that hooded eyelid, and then go. And we're going to outline the eye, top and bottom. Do that here. We may go in and add small lines to the details, like right around the nostril, the nose, add a line there. And if I thought it was too dark, I could go back in with another small brush with nothing on it but water. And I can take this and I can actually pull that black out and make it fade right into my shadow. And that makes it where it's not such a harsh line. So there's no, we have one brush with black paint on it, one brush with no paint on it, where we just kind of can come back in. And it helps fade that line where it's not such a harsh line. Sometimes we want harsh lines, sometimes we don't. Let's go back over here and do a little line around the side of his face. And I'm going to go back in and around that ear. Put one there. So those where I'm doing where his wrinkles are, I'm actually going to go back in with my other brush and just make those almost a wash. Where it was a line, it becomes a wash of color. I'm going to go into his under nose and just darken this nostril. Even pull this in a little bit. Okay, where's my other brush there? So when you get into the details of it is when you can really get pulled into it, you know? Because you're seeing all the small things that you want to put into your painting. Also, we don't have to put every line on anybody on the face. You kind of just said we're trying to get a likeness. And pull that out. Let's go on this side of this ear, and I definitely want that to be dark. Perfect, okay. Then we're going to go up with our black and pull that lobe and pull that down, make that, yes, I like that. This is coming together, guys. I hope you're having fun. All right, so now I'm going to crisp up this line around the chin because that makes that shadow that we worked in earlier just really pop too. And freshen up some of these lines around his collar. And his tie. We don't have to do the whole shadow anymore. We're just like going in and freshen up stuff. Okay, let's take that back line that we just did. Oops, I got water on my brush, and I'm pulling this out as a shadow here to hold my water because I need. Okay, that's a little too dark. So what are we gonna do? Go back in with our brown. And we're basically good. Yeah. Come down here a bit too. I don't like that highlight there, so we're going to darken that. Okay, so I think we're getting the gist of it. A little bit more brown here. I think Mr. Lewis is looking pretty good today, so I hope you are having fun watching this. Next week we will be next month is Women's History Month, and we will be doing Octavia Butler. So 2 portraits in a row. I hope you can join me for that time also. And remember to continue to work, paint, inspire yourself, and inspire others.